I'm Jennifer Pieper. I'm with the San Francisco Tenants Union, and I'm here to talk about no on O, and I can also do P and U if you need it. Okay, so Proposition O is the Lennar urban development out in Candlestick Point. They are asking, it's the shipyards. In 2008, they were approved to do a development out there of a certain size. And so now they are asking for an exemption from Prop M to double the office space out there. So Prop M was passed in 1986. It's a cap on the amount of office space that is allotted across the city. And the idea was that, you know, if you have too many workers and not enough housing, it's going to throw things off. And we've seen that happen for the last couple of years. So they are asking for an exemption from it, so they won't be counted towards the cap. And the problem with that is that it also frees up other developers in the South of Market area who won't be competing with Lennar for the same square footage. So it will also, we think, will cause displacement across the city, because anywhere, the whole jobs housing balance will be thrown way out of whack. And with this doubling of the square footage that they've already been permitted, they haven't included any new housing, no parks, and no increased transit impact fees. So they basically want a whole huge bonus for nothing. So we kind of were caught by surprise with this. It was just put on the ballot. They did no community outreach, and they've been way ahead of us, like running around their representatives.
No NEPA or anything like that? Do they have to do, like, you know, when there's public comment is necessary for environmental impact?
No, because it was already approved in 2008, so they're just tagging it on. So people in opposition are Tom Amiano, Supervisors Mar, Avalos, basically all the housing groups. Our biggest partner is ACE, which is the Alliance for California Community Empowerments, and they have tons of members in the Bayview, so this is going to affect them. And you will hear from some of our electeds that this is what the community wants, but we haven't seen any outreach out there.
I appreciate your being here, because I was puzzled,
Mm-hmm.
and I appreciate your explanation on why then, given what you're saying, did the DCCC? I mean, I know some, I mean, it's not like I don't have some idea of,
Yeah.
obviously some on the DCCC would of
Yeah.
course like it, but why was it able, do you have any names?
Such a wash,
Yeah.
right? I'm so infuriated by that, because they didn't reach out to any of the housing groups like before, and this is what we
But
do,
isn't
is
there a
housing
story
policy.
behind, there must be something
I
behind it.
think, well, I
Usually
don't
there
know, I'm
is.
being filmed here, so.
So, no, it's okay. I mean,
Yeah. So,
did some, I mean, anyway.
Okay.
you
I
don't
think
wanna-
they have a very, deep pockets. They've been way ahead planning this, and they just got to everyone first.
Yes,
And there was
okay.
basically no opposition, even from our progressive allies. I'm very upset at many of them. So we've been going around going, well, what the hell? What are you doing? And we have turned some votes. So like Sandy Fewer is no longer in support.
Oh, okay.
We're working on the Milk Club. They didn't have enough information to know what they were. So I don't know. I think it'll change. Yeah, and no community benefits were added, so, all right, is there any other
well,
questions?
see, I mean, I'm trying to think if if there was a real. Which one's that? T.
PE, the competitive bidding for whenever a developer requests financing for a project, the mayor's office housing must ensure.
With the most value? What?
Okay, so Prop P, so right now, we have like a handful of really good nonprofit affordable housing developers that do most of this stuff in the city, and they're pretty maxed out as far as new projects that they can take on because they're so busy, and they know what they're doing, and they're all part of Choo Choo, if you know what that is, the Council of Community Housing Organizations. So both P and U were put on the ballot measure by the Real Estate Association. They have $900,000 in the bank. They're prepared to pay to spend on this, and no one asked for these measures, so except for them. So Prop P will force the city, every time there's like a public land that's free for housing, they will be required to get 3 competitive bids now. Right now, there is no set number. So what we're worried about is that this will open it up for commercial, for-profit developers who will set up like shell companies and claim to be a nonprofit. And there was already a report from the Mayor's Office of Housing that says that having to wait for 2-3 more bids is going to stall development and just make it more complicated. And our fear is that it's going to go to these sort of shady companies that will just build the cheapest housing and not be sensitive to the community, and it'll be like a flood of out-of-state developers. And this is also like universally opposed. The DCCC opposed it. Even groups that we don't usually agree with, like Spur and Alice B. Toklas, are against it. All the housing groups, Leno, Dufty.
Okay, well, that's good. I mean, it's not an awful lot like Christmas for Greed ads.
Yeah. And then, No on You. This one's really simple. So right now, when a new development happens, a certain percentage is allotted to people who are low income, and they define that as you make up to 55% of the area median income.
Okay.
And then
I need to write that down.
in the bigger buildings, there's a second tier that goes to middle income, so it would go from 55 to 100 or something like that. So they want, you would create one giant category from 0 to 110, and it would take out the smallest tier. I mean, technically, they can compete, but we all know that the developer is going to choose those 110 people.
Oh, yeah.
But the really scary part of it is that low-income people now in certain units, if they can get rid of those tenants, they can reset it to 110%. So we fear that it'll be an incentive to evict people. Because right now there's no incentive to evict because you just get another low-income person in there. So, yeah, it's a pretty horrible measure.
What's that now? Which one?
That was you.
You,
There-
just you.
The aptly named
Oh,
PU.
no.
Oh, yep, the,
Um,